Welcome to the Smoke Podcast. All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Smoke Podcast.
And welcome back, Rick.
Thank you.
Back,
Good to
Rick.
be back. Good to be
Rick,
back.
I'm digging that hat, man. I need that. I need that.
Look,
But I just can't trade this Raider Nation.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. I can't trade this shit.
Hey, he giving away all his shit.
In the trash,
Why,
it can
why
go.
would I get rid of my stuff, man?
Y'all got a quarterback yet?
Yes. Who? We got the guy from Seattle. He down there with Carl.
You don't even know his name.
Give me a minute. I'll Google
Geno.
it.
It's Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno Smith. Yeah.
Next.
We got a quarterback.
Yeah.
And the draft has not happened yet.
What they got to do with y'all?
I anticipate the Raiders being in contention next year. I'm gonna do
That's
like
everybody.
I'm gonna say that the Cowboys. We're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
That's everybody's hope and dream before the season starts.
Yes, it is.
Hey, so we welcoming back Rick. Rick, what's been going on? Now, I got a theory about why Rick been gone.
Rick.
No theory.
Rick,
I got a
you
theory.
lucky the damn trees didn't take revenge on you. Where you been, man?
Rick went out to Vail. You went to Vail, Colorado?
Colorado for a ski trip, man.
See, what really happened, he hurt himself, but he came back talking about he came back talking about
I hurt myself by doing too much drinking and smoking. And 2 days after I got back, I caught the flu.
That's what you want to go with.
That's what I'm gonna go with. My resistance
But
was
that's
down.
not really the story he told me, and I'm not going to tell his business.
Okay, please don't. Let's keep it between the lines,
Rick,
y'all. Keep it between the lines.
You know, that's one of my bucket list items. I want to go out to Denver, and I want to, but I don't want to. I ain't try. I'm not trying to ski. I'm not trying to do none of that shit. I just want to go out there, sit in the hot tub, drink whiskey, and put some smoke in there. That's it.
And I did just that.
There you go.
I took ski lesson.
Can you hit the boo thing?
Oh, you did the lesson? See, I didn't.
And it wasn't my thing. It's not for me.
Man.
It's not for me.
So
I'm 54. My knees don't turn that way.
Man, so we went out there about 20 years ago. Me and my partner Charles, you know, we big dudes and everything. So we like, man, we ain't got to take no lessons, man. We know how that shit do. You remember that commercial, The Thrill of Victory and the Agony of Defeat?
Y'all was already in the agony.
We were in the agony of defeat.
Yeah.
I should have known something because as soon as I got off the lift, I fell.
Yeah.
The part where they put you down on the...
I fell, and I'm like,
standing up is a challenge.
Yes, that's what it was.
The thing of it is trying to stop.
yeah.
And you have to turn your legs a certain way.
See,
I'm gonna stop.
why?
When gravity or inertia. When it stops me, that's when I'm gonna stop.
The way my insurance is set up, I couldn't even leave. Hey, if they find out I'm going to Denver, it's like, your insurance will not cover you.
All that.
You sure not? Yeah.
So man, I got off the lift. So now we on a black diamond. That's right there. That was already
Why
bad.
though?
I mean,
That don't even make no sense
We
for
didn't even
somebody that
have a
can't
real ski suit.
Bruh, I looked at the black diamond from the bottom. I said, "Oh hell no."
So Doc, I'm, we going like this. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing the jump like they do on TV. Oh yeah, I got it. So Doc, I just took off down the hill. I'm going. I was like,
Crash.
it was worse than that. I saw a bunch of people, and I said, damn, how do I stop?
Yep.
You should have been asking that question first.
I should have asked that shit first.
Yep.
And so I was like, before I take off, because I was about to take out a whole bunch of people. Mm-hmm. I just fell. And I was.
You said instead of crashing into them.
You fell at some speed too, Ken.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like it's an incline.
Did you hurt your shoulder?
Man, my shoulder popped out of place, popped back
my
in.
God,
Popped
really?
back in. And so my friend Brett, he's like, damn, man, you were getting it, man. I was like, oh, look at Fabian. He knows. And then, of course, you wiped out. But,
That part don't count.
it took so long to get down that hill. And my partner, Charles, he ain't never skied before either. Mm-hmm. He went past the little barriers.
He couldn't stop either.
He couldn't stop. Now, the worst part about skiing, when
You
you
need a
fall,
lesson.
is when you fall, there's always some kid that's going to come jump over you in their little snowboard.
Not the little kid.
Yeah, and tell you, keep it up, mister. You're gonna get it.
Look,
You're going to get it one day.
I'm up there and I'm on the bunny slope, the kiddie slope. Dude,
Not you
kids
admitting
this
it.
high, skating past me like, really?
I don't think you're supposed to tell us that part.
I'm sorry.
You on a bunny slope? Your ass up there looking like Santa Claus, Black Santa Claus.
Grizzly
You up there?
For real.
Rick,
I was like,
can I get the kid rails put up for me?
Literally. These
Oh,
kids
you
are
had
like
the one where it's
little
in front of you to help you go down the slope?
No, the bunny slope. No.
You know
The bunny slope is just a slope that doesn't have an incline. You're so silly. But no, the bunny slope is like it's got no incline, and there's a huge area at the bottom where, okay, if you can't stop, gravity or inertia or whatever it is going to slow you down. So no, I didn't get off of that. I didn't get up on the lift. The bunny slope, you walk up.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's the bunny.
So
That's
what was
why
you
it's the
smoking,
bonus
Rick?
look.
If I can ask. A little bit
Don't-
of this,
don't
a
let-
little bit of
don't
that.
let-
Little bit
don't
of this,
tell
little bit of
That's
that.
there you go.
Don't let Ike tell you all
Tell
that.
all your
Hey,
business
all
on
right.
this podcast.
All I ask is what
They
did
had
he
a bunch
smoke?
of dispensaries. Man,
He's illegal out there, so he can
Yeah.
talk about
Oh,
it.
where? Oh, Colorado.
Colorado.
Okay, okay.
Colorado. I will say that altitude sickness is real, bro.
Yes.
Really?
it
Yeah.
is.
It is real. We
Rick,
were in
can
Denver.
I after you say that, I want to tell my quick story. It won't take me a minute because
It
I
ain't
know
gonna take
these.
me long. It's just me and a
I ain't
headache.
saying
Me and
nothing.
a
You and a
headache
headache?
was a commonplace, dude. We were waiting on a rental car, and I had the worst migraine. I just had to sit down on my luggage to hurry.
That happened to me when I went to Colorado too. Yeah, it's for real.
Altitude is for real.
So I had rented a car and I'm driving around. I actually was installing a computer system at the Aurora County Jail. So I'm just riding around. I decided to go to the top of Lookout Mountain. So I going up, folks jogging faster than I was driving because I realized once you start going up, you have to commit. You got to go all the way up and come back down. When you got to the top, this was in July. It was snowing at the top because the weather. And then when I got down to the bottom, I'm like, what's that smell? I had smoked the damn brakes because I rolled them jokers all the way down. So
Terrible.
Oh, man.
So Kimberly, what you been smoking? I know you went out of town this weekend.
I didn't get a chance to smoke this weekend. Too much going on. Yeah.
What about you, Fade?
You know what, man? Last week, your guy bought us those cigars, those
Cubans?
yeah, I smoked one of those.
Really? Which
yesterday.
one?
Oh, I had to put mine in the humidor.
Yeah,
How was
it's
it?
gone. It's good.
It was good?
Yeah, I smoked
Okay.
yours. I still got
No,
mine.
no.
What was the name of the Cuban? Did they
It was a
It was a Rocky Patel, wasn't it? I thought it was
I don't know. But mine in my humidor. Ain't
good.
nobody
It
studying.
was a good stick. It was a real good stick.
good?
It was a
Okay.
real good stick.
yeah.
I'm not leaving nothing here.
You better not. You take enough.
I ain't took nothing from here.
So Rick, what you bring us today to wash these?
I tell you what, man.
sticks down.
I'm feeling this.
I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling
This
it.
is fairly new to the Memphis market. It's Penelope. Penelope is a line that's been out a while, but this is an allocated kind of first, second run thing with their weeded. I liked it when they bought it in, and I had to get introduced to the rest of the line. The rest of the line is phenomenal. But this weeded, I thought everybody's doing weeded now. I don't know if you guys keep up.
What's
with
the
bourbon
difference? Explain
Yeah.
to the smoke audience what the difference is.
Wheat is the secondary. All of them are 4 grain. It's corn, wheat, rye, and barley. To be called wheated, the secondary, the ingredient that's the second highest used is rye. Is wheat.
Wheat.
So you start with corn, whatever percent corn.
So everything is base. The base is always corn.
yeah, predominantly corn.
for bourbon, for bourbons.
Right, for bourbons, yeah. So I had to pull it up because I didn't know a lot about it, but I know when I tried it. Yeah, this is 7.4% corn, 7% rye, 16% wheat.
So it's weeded because it's the second highest.
Yeah, it's the second highest. Yeah, so
okay.
to be
We learn
weeded,
something
that's the
every
second-
day.
Yeah, and I actually just like that. but yeah, I liked it. It's real easy, really approachable. That's why introductory bourbons for people, most women, they lean toward weeded bourbons, things like Makers, a lot of Weller. There's some
like
other weeded
Weller.
ones here. Yeah, they're easier to drink. It's less harsh, not a lot of barley. It doesn't burn a lot. But I liked
I'm
it,
loving
man.
it,
I thought
man.
it
I
was
think
really
it's good.
balanced. I think it makes a good old fashioned, is what they were saying.
Yeah.
I never have tried it I just
I
got
bet
it
that
in.
would be good.
So
Brought it in about
I have
2
a
weeks ago.
suggestion.
What's that?
On our next show, let's do a old fashioned. Let's make different, like 3 or 4 different kinds of old
It's a
fashioned.
good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I see.
Yes.
I be coming up with some
Yes.
stuff. Let me give you your flowers right now. I be coming up with stuff
Right
every
on,
once
right
in a
on.
while.
Like,
Yes.
I think it's
Because-
so. Rick,
because
can
you
we
know
make
what?
that happen?
Yeah, we can make that
So I'm
happen.
gonna tell you what I'm gonna bring. I got a big jar of those expensive ass cherries. Me and my wife bought a jar. Yeah, those. I paid $25 for
Really?
a jar.
How big was it? That big?
No, it was a big white bottle. I bought it at Costco. So
Okay.
I'll bring those and we'll hook it up. And I'm gonna tell you what's really good. I know Fabian's gonna roll his eyes. A cognac based old fashioned.
Whatever. Roll my eyes on that. that, man.
Well, I know you don't. You a purist, so you like, man, don't be messing up my coin. And then I use the good stuff.
You use the good stuff. So let me ask you this: so you use the good stuff? You use the Pierre Ferrand to make your cognac old fashioned?
It was good. Oh my God.
Was it?
It was good.
Okay. I might have to buy a
because
bottle.
Cognac
which
old
one did you
fashioned.
use? Which one did you use?
The 10.
The 10.
So here, this is what I always say: when I go, when you travel out of the country, I don't want to drink the stuff that I can get in Memphis.
Right.
All the time.
You wanna try some new shit?
So if I'm in Mexico, I'm gonna get a tequila old fashioned. If I'm in, wherever, I'm gonna get the whatever the and I've had rum old fashions when I was in
Is
Puerto
that
Rico.
too sweet?
It's really not because I had a good rum. You right, Fave is right, because if you get some cheap stuff, it ain't nothing but sugar.
Ain't nothing but sugar.
That's it. But no, I had a good. It was a Bacardi, like a 10-year, like they're
top of the line.
the top of the line
Okay.
stuff, yeah, and it was good. So
We had it at the tasting.
Yeah.
The Bacardi rum that was the 10-year.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
it's good. It's good. It's
really
good by
good.
itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so we'll
All
do
right,
that.
man. Rick, we
yeah.
appreciate it,
Make
man.
that
And
happen,
welcome
man.
back, man.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
loving
you.
this Penelope.
Welcome
Loving
back.
Thank you.
Now, Kimberly called. She texted, said, "I got the man,
No, I said have a man that's coming.
The man.
the man,
The man. We using the instead of a. Okay, go ahead.
whatever."
So I had somebody ask me, "Do y'all have Anthony?" I said, "I don't know who Kimberly got. I just know she got somebody."
Right.
It's a somebody.
It's a
That's what I told her. I said, She said, "Let me see the text." I said, "See, it just said we have a guest." That's all it said. You know who it was?
Who was
It was Gina.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because if she had known if she had known you was here, she'd have been here. Anthony.
They talking to you.
We talking to you, man.
If she had known, so me and Gina, we're good friends. Gina Neely. She said, "Who y'all got?" I said, "I don't know who we got." If she had known it was you, she'd have been here.
Got to be more careful.
I didn't know. All Kimberly said is we got a guess.
We got
I didn't say the name.
You did it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay. My fault.
yeah.
My fault.
My
You
bad.
say that sheriff dude that's running for
I
sheriff.
did not
dude.
say that. Well, y'all love making up stuff. I did not. I'm pretty sure I said candidate.
So y'all, I know we ain't got no big holidays coming up soon.
Yes, we do.
Which
Yes,
one?
Easter.
Yeah, we're gonna be on a plane on Easter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I
But
know.
we going to it.
I was wondering why those tickets were so cheap.
Oh, you think that's why?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, but
Think
we
about
bought
it.
our tickets in December.
Yeah, but how many people fly on Easter?
Oh, well, we will be.
We will be.
Yeah, the
just
plane
better
is
get us
very
there.
empty, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
it might just be us.
That's good. That's good. So anyway, Easter is coming up. So I just want to remind you guys that if you need some grown folks libations to
For
go
your
out to
Easter.
R&R Liquor, 3481 Austin P.
My man.
Now let me ask you this. Rick, that's great.
Rick may not be there though. He'll be in the back. I'm just gonna.
I wonder how many people doing real Easter egg hunting.
Nobody. Nobody can afford it.
Hey, it's cheaper to buy them little plastic eggs and put something inside them.
You can put money and everything in there.
Okay.
It's still be
Cheaper than
cheaper.
that.
Still have some. You gonna have to go to the dollar store and put you some candy. Ain't nobody dying no eggs for them kids.
These prices.
Boy, if you looked at the price of eggs, you better get out of my face and go in there. And
Is it against
eat
the law
your
to
peanut
have a
butter
chicken
sandwich.
coop in your backyard?
No, the lady down the street got a chicken coop.
Oh, and by you?
2 doors down.
Oh, okay. She
be
sell it.
I got them real fresh grown eggs right here.
Baby, you ain't no good neighbor. I'm gonna need you to find out what the house is.
All right, Smoke fam, we gonna take a quick break. I need to refresh in my drink, and we're gonna bring our special
guest.
guest on.
Special
in.
guest.
Yes,
Memphis
yes.
is loaded with special
Special
guests.
guest. Everybody come on the Smoke special guest.
Right, everybody that come
special.
here. Yeah.
Yes,
We love
Smoke
everybody.
Fam, we will be right back.
We'll be back.
All right.
Welcome
Yes,
back to the
yes,
Smoke
yes,
Podcast.
yes.
That was a quite spirited break.
It always is, man.
Always is.
We should record the breaks, but
No.
we don't.
No.
We don't need to.
I have a
Not
job.
everybody should have that much business. Not that much
J.O.B.
access.
Have you guys, you know the deal between the Breakfast Club with Jess Hilarious and Lauren?
That shit
Monroe?
funny.
Yeah, that look
shit funny.
weird.
Like, I'm like, Are y'all pranking me? Because I'm knowing that they recorded basically a HR conversation on camera.
On live.
But you know, here's the funny thing. Before it came out, I was saying the same thing. I was like, Jess, why do they have her on there anymore?
Yeah.
Lauren is great.
But you can't come back from pregnant. That's wrong. They should have had a conversation with her.
They did.
That off camera.
They were saying what it was is really it was Corey Holcomb who was messing with her. And she got all in her feelings about it.
All in her feelings.
I don't want to have a conversation about him.
Yes.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Man,
Okay.
what's going on, Anthony?
Buckner, welcome to. Give him a hand clap of praise over there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Man, coming on in, man. Come in. Hey, I tell you what.
The HNIC.
Yeah. I'm digging the suit.
Soon to be HNIC.
Soon to be. There you go.
Who else is going to be? Is anybody dumb enough to run against you?
Yeah, but we're not even going to talk about that.
Yeah.
You know,
He was like,
it's
we
only
ain't
one
talking
that
about the
matters.
peons.
It's only one that matters. Anthony Buckner.
I'm digging that suit, man. The tie and everything.
I got all dressed up for you guys.
I know.
And we look like whatever.
The tie is politically correct. Like, I don't know which way you go. Are you
You was like,
Republican,
don't
Democrat? You got
worry
the red,
about all
that's
that.
the point.
That's the point.
That's the point. Nah, the whole look is good, man.
I see
You came in here with your crew, man.
Well,
you got
so
some top
security. We got security.
Y'all,
You're top flight security.
I captured a couple photos of him he had on the tuxedo. Remember at Lexi's birthday party?
Yes.
So
that's what I wear around the house. That's normally what I wear around the house. So I'm dressed down today.
Oh, there
If
we
you want to
go.
go with that, you could have put on t-shirt and jeans to come hang out with us.
Yeah, exactly, man. I was like, damn, he kind of dressed up for us. I really
Yeah, don't be
appreciate
mad
that,
at him. Come on through with the suit.
He came in with the suit, tie.
Well, he recognizes that more and more women are now cigar smokers, and they will be watching the podcast. And, you know, I've already had a couple people, because I forget who asked me, they were like, is he married? I said, why you asking me? Shit, go
Ask
talk to him.
Go DM him.
hey, you know, we were doing some stuff with the city council. Is that Buckner? I mean,
the women. Hey, trust me, bro. The women they stand back.
Yeah.
And I be like, listen, go out there, shoot your shot.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed over the last year or so many people have confused me with Denzel Washington. And so hold on,
which one? Training Day
Wait a minute, hold on.
Which one? Remember the Titan
It depends on the
Let's see,
moment.
which one was
It
this
depends
one?
on the moment. It happens all the time.
You
Hey,
know
you
what?
better-
The
you better hope-
confidence is not. I ain't mad at it. This man said this.
It was an equalizer, Denzel. Which one is it?
Whatever they need me to be in the moment.
We know
it
you
happens
running
all
for
the
sheriff,
time.
but come on.
hey, here's the other part. He said, man, these mics sound good. Why does everybody get on here and they got the Barry White voice?
Yeah.
No idea. No idea.
Anthony Buckner here, y'all. I'm just here. You know.
Y'all need me to do a couple of drops.
Who is your social media director? Because you better get ready for the DMs.
Especially with this new voice I done found on this microphone.
That's the new voice.
I'm just a new voice. I've had some Penelope and now I got a new voice. I'm on tonight.
All right.
Hey,
Hey,
That's
man,
what's
that's what
up.
it's about.
So
Right?
let's-
We have fun, and the cool thing is people see a side of you that
Right.
they normally don't see.
Right.
When you come on the Smoke Podcast.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
you know, we ain't scripted. We don't know what to ask you. We just going to let you
I told them to come
But I
up
got
with
a
some
question.
hard-hitting questions.
I got a
So
question.
well, let me
Hold
start
on,
here.
let them-
Faith,
let-
Faith, let me
Who
ask you
are
this.
you, brother?
Faith, let me ask you before I
Go
answer.
ahead,
Can
go
I
ahead.
take this towel?
Please do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please
I
do.
can take the towel.
Take
Yes,
the towel.
there we go,
And
there we
unbutton
go.
a couple of
Get
buttons,
on
man.
in here.
Yeah,
And then undo a button. There we
button,
go.
man.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There
There we
we
go.
go.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Now we ready.
Yeah.
Let's
You
get
don't
the
have to do
business.
all that.
Now you on the Smoke.
You on the Smoke podcast,
So
baby.
tell us about you. Are you from Memphis?
So I was born in St. Louis, Missouri.
All right.
All right, that's fair.
But
Close
I
enough.
came here at the tender age of 3.
Oh, were you from
And I'm
Memphis?
45 now.
Oh, okay. Well, you from
Yeah,
Memphis?
it is, man.
Okay.
Come from there.
All right. I've had enough
You a
water.
Memphian, man. Shit.
And we'll let you claim it.
Yeah, you done
appreciate
been
it.
a
Orange
club,
Mountain.
no name, and
Orange
all
Mountain in
that
the
stuff.
house.
Yeah.
Not,
Whoa. Skirt. Hit the. No. He said
Yes,
Orange
that's the right
Mound.
one. That's the right
Orange
one.
Mound.
he said that's the right one.
Oh no. I'm just gonna tell you, they hate on Orange Mound.
That's not true.
Yes, they do. Both of them do.
No, we hate on you.
No. Don't put
I'm
me
from
in.
Orange Mound.
No.
When?
You
What are you
claim.
talking about?
First of all, he claimed about 3 different.
My
states.
grandmother-
School? He
My-
went to White Station?
Yeah, he
Wait a
claimed
minute.
about 5
I
different
graduated from
areas.
Melrose.
Okay.
My grandmother stayed right on Park
Castalia?
Avenue. No, she stayed on Park Avenue right
we go.
across from Speedy Corner.
Okay.
Now, if you know,
hold on, when did you stay in Castalia?
I stayed in Magnolia.
What's the difference?
Then he gonna say he from
Across
North
the
Memphis.
tracks. It's across the tracks. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all better recognize, put some respect.
And now it's North Memphis.
All the time, man. He done went to White Station, Central.
Yeah.
I ain't never said I went to Central.
I made that one up.
I know you
We
did.
tried to give you some cred, some street cred on
Now,
that.
in all fairness, I've done some of that as well. So I graduated from Wooddale High School in
Okay.
1998. But the first place we lived when we came to Memphis was in the Orange Mountain apartment complex named Pendleton Place Apartments, right there at the corner
exactly
of Lamar
what
and
I
Kim.
used to live there.
You used to live there?
No, I used to live there.
I know where it's at. I know where it's at.
You don't still live there, do you?
No.
Okay.
He said you
I'm
was
just checking. I'm just checking. I'm asking for a friend.
So, man, tell us about yourself.
Not you still living in the hood.
That's what he was basically saying. And you didn't get out.
I was asking for a friend. Yeah,
What friend? You just wanted to know.
Yeah. Wanted to make sure, Yeah. So came to Memphis, and I tell people this all the time, that the first place we actually lived in Memphis was in the Salvation Army. My parents and I, when we relocated from St. Louis, Missouri. And so after about a week of living in the Salvation Army, we moved to Pendleton Place. We stayed there to about, when I was 8 or 9 years old, we moved to Parkway Village. Yeah. And so part of my story is I talk about mentorship.
Right.
And so when I was 8 years old, that's the first time that I actually got connected with a mentor who today is still in my life.
Wow.
And he's actually mentoring my kids as well now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's cool
So,
right there, man.
yeah, so I
love
celebrate
his
mentors.
stories like that.
I celebrate mentors.
Yeah.
And so when I was about 15 years old, I became an explorer with the Memphis Police Department, which was through the Boy Scouts of America.
Oh, yeah.
And then later, 16, I became an explorer with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. And
What's
so,
an explorer?
So you're
Good question, Kimberly.
It's a hard hitting question.
Yeah. So generally, it's a kid who's interested in a particular occupation.
Okay.
And so through the Boy Scouts of America, you try to find if there's an occupation that allow explorers to come in. So in my case, wanted to be involved in criminal justice, the police department has a program as well as the sheriff's office. Okay. And so the good thing about this, at 8, I get a mentor through my church, and then at 15, some Memphis police officers started to mentor me. And then at 16, some sheriff's deputies started mentoring me. And I can tell you, all of these folks are still involved in my life today. So I'm telling you, yes. So I say to all the men out there, please mentor a young person. Find you as a young person to mentor, because you just never know what it's going to be like later on.
What they see is what they'll be.
Exactly. So here at 8 years old, I'm sure my mentor he never would imagine that I would rise to the second in command at the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. So, I'm the number 2 of the largest sheriff's office in the state of Tennessee, but that's not because of my own skill set, but it's because of all the people who poured into me. So,
and that's
man,
important.
I celebrate that.
But your skill set has a lot to do with it, though.
Because if you couldn't talk,
I've known you for a minute, man, and you've always been that guy, reliable, truth, and respect of everybody in the community. And I always appreciated that of you. So,
aww,
yes, you're a cool brother.
So
I have to say that,
growing up, that you said, man, when you ask a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a police. Were you that? You never was.
Well. Let me. This is funny because I tease my friends at the fire department all the time. So I actually initially wanted to be a fireman or a paramedic. I just didn't know which one.
I'm glad you didn't go that route.
Yeah, I didn't know which one. And one night I was watching this episode of Cops. Believe it or not, yes, Cops changed my life.
I bet it did.
What's part? They running somebody down. He's like, oh, I can run fast. I can do that.
No. I mean, it's a cheesy story, but it's a true story. And so this particular episode, it was a domestic violence call. Man that beat his wife up in front of their 8-year-old daughter.
Oh wow!
And the police officer races into the house. He arrests the guy, takes him, put him in the back of the patrol car, goes back inside of the home, picks up this little 8-year-old girl, takes her back to his police car, opens the trunk and gets a teddy bear out and gave it to her.
Oh, wow.
And it was at that moment I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be a police officer.
Oh,
wow.
Because you want to give teddy bears.
I want to give teddy bears.
No,
yes.
Memphis does that. If a child is been
that's traumatic.
Do that? Yeah, they drive around. Y'all have teddy bears. Because I remember one time they asked
got one?
the public to give teddy bears. No, I brought. Hey, it wouldn't be famous if you didn't do that. I mean, come on.
I'm not saying nothing. Nope.
No, that's good. That's good.
But I looked at that moment. I still do, as a moment where this police officer presents himself as Superman. He's coming to save the day. But then next he's Clark Kent. He humbles himself enough to reduce himself in size down to where an 8-year-old can connect with him. And so when I became a sheriff's deputy, one of the pieces of equipment that I put in the trunk of my car was a huge bag full of teddy bears.
Oh man,
That's what's up right there.
That's what's up.
That's an incredible story, man. And
and to still be doing that job.
and
Still to be a part of.
How long you been a part of the sheriff department?
23 years.
Wow.
I started when I was 22.
So you can retire, really. I mean, I know
Next
you're
year.
trying to run for another office, but you
Yes.
could conceivably just be like, deuces.
Yeah,
But you don't run for deputy. You're appointed, right?
So for chief deputy, yes, I'm appointed.
Okay.
But for sheriff, yes,
You'll
I need
have
you
to
to push
run.
the button.
Election.
Right.
So what do you think a sheriff look like for you of Shelby County?
Yeah, so I can tell you this. One thing that I've been privileged to is sit second seat to the current sheriff, Floyd Bonner.
Floyd Bonner.
And man, he has been an
Great guy.
absolute
Great guy.
amazing community engager.
Right,
I mean, he would answer the phone for anyone.
And he'll show up.
He will show
Because
up.
I used to shoot Ricky Floyd's the graduation, the men graduation.
Right.
He would be there.
I'm telling
I
you.
mean, he was always there.
The sheriff would show up to a backyard barbecue with 5 people.
Yeah.
He'll show up to a conference with 2,000 people. It doesn't matter. If you call Sheriff Floyd Bonner, he's going to be there.
Oh wow.
And
That's
so
what's up.
being second seat to him and being around him since 2018 has really taught me how to not. And I always I told my son this not long ago. I said, son, when you're running track, you don't just run to the tape. You run through the tape, right? And so what I saw from Sheriff Bonner, he didn't just run to win an election. He kept running even after the election. He kept connecting with the community. And sometimes our elected officials, you see them a whole lot on the campaign trail, but then after they win,
No more.
Yeah,
they disappear
Deuces.
until it's time for re-election.
Yeah.
But the sheriff has been the only time I've seen him come off that campaign trail was during COVID, which all of us was kind of.
shit,
Yeah, he ain't had no choice.
But as soon as we got past COVID and he got him a good knee, he was back out there.
Not the good knee on it all.
Yeah, he was back out there. So, he just taught me how to be an available sheriff. And I can tell you, when we first moved to Memphis, and I can remember as a young age hearing stories about the Fords and how they were so entrenched in the community and making sure that the community, that they were high touch, that you could walk into one of their offices and almost lay any complaint that you had at their feet. And so I was like, man, you know what? Hearing those stories and watching the current sheriff, I think I'm a combination of both of those things.
Yeah,
Just
But you
have
know
to
what?
be
Not
cons-
just complaints, because I remember when me and Fabian, when we started Spotlight, I think the newspaper did an article. I get a card from at then Congressman Harold Ford Jr., and he was like, "Congratulations, guys! I'm proud of y'all."
Oh, wow.
That right there, for him to take the time, that kicked it over the top for me.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because what I have done since I've been a chief deputy since July of 2023.
Okay.
And one of the things that I'm very intentional about, if I see in the news or on the Daily Memphian or Commercial Appeal that there's been some success story in our community, I write them a personal note congratulating them.
Hey,
just
that
letting them know.
carries
yes.
weight.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know.
You got my vote.
So May 1st, Spotlight Productions is celebrating 25 years of business. And
That's it.
yes, and that's man.
So basically, he's saying, go ahead and write him a letter.
I'm gonna put it
I
on good
want you to
paper.
come. I want you to come. I want you to say something.
I'll be there. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's gonna be right here.
So what made you want to run for sheriff, though?
Yes.
Especially, hold on. Especially when you consider how broken. I'm gonna say broken. I'm gonna use, because I'm gonna tell you what. Yesterday, as I had to drop something off downtown, I drove past 201 Poplar, and I saw the 18-wheelers with the air conditioning unit sitting on it. I'm like, oh shit, that ain't good. That is not good. I didn't even know about the article that it was down, but I
Right.
saw them trucks, and I saw them, because I've worked in companies where air conditioner goes out in the whole building, and you try to bring stuff in to feed air into it. So.
Right.
That's tough.
I told you my sister works down there. She said, "Yeah, it's funky like a monkey down."
But I mean, that's stuff that happens. So,
Right, that's- that's-
Yeah,
that's
it's
stuff that
an
happens,
old
unfortunately.
building.
Yeah, it's
You know,
old
that's the
building.
deal. If the city and if had allocated money towards continually keeping it up, you wouldn't find yourself in a situation where you need a whole lot of money to get it fixed. I mean, come on, you gotta pay into it. You keep fixing your house up. You keep fixing yours up. I mean, we got to do the same for our buildings and stuff as well.
So how does that affect you though? Does it?
He got to answer the questions. That's at the very least, he's the person that the buck stops.
But I thought 201 was a Memphis thing.
Yeah, so 201 Poplar, the building itself is managed, from a maintenance standpoint from the county. But obviously, we got 2,550 men inside of 201 Poplar. If they hot, that's a problem for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you creating a
civil unrest.
You creating an environment for an explosion.
Right.
You
So,
just don't know what.
Yeah, so our role in that is making sure that we're advocating on behalf of those 2,550 men, because regardless of why they are there, we still have a responsibility to keep them safe and keep them healthy. And so, we're their strongest advocates. So we've been in conversation with the county office, just let the county government to let them know what the issues are.
I think y'all doing a great. Y'all are in front of it for sure.
Oh yes, it's tough. But listen, I took some reporters on a tour of 201 Poplar a few weeks back. And when we got up to the 6th floor, it had to be close to 90 degrees up there. And a couple of reporters were like, Chief, my makeup is starting to run off my face. And I said, listen, just imagine, if the inmates are hot, my staff is hot. So it's not like you have hot inmates and cool staff. Everybody's hot up here.
Right.
And so,
what's on the 6th floor?
Well, that's where our low-level offenders are housed.
Why y'all laughing? Because I don't know.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing that you do.
No.
You don't know.
Oh no. I don't want to be. Nope. I ain't.
Yeah.
I already know.
Right.
I wouldn't make it.
So real quick. So Fabian always cracking jokes about me doing jobs. I had applied for a job to be a deputy jailer. No, listen, this is funny. So I go down there. I got to the 3rd interview with 3 guys, and the one question they asked me that I knew got me in trouble. They said, "Well, where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Not here.
Well, actually, they sent me to find out if you cleared that warrant up.
They looking for
Let me
you.
talk to you after this.
No, I've
You don't
always
arrest people
I've
still,
always
do you?
did.
I still have handcuffs.
You still got
Hold on.
Act crazy if you want to.
Do you drive?
I do.
You
Yes.
drive? Okay.
But you don't drive a cruiser and do all that, right?
Don't matter. He flicked them lights on. You better
You
pull
got
over.
lights? You
I
got
have
lights?
lights.
Yeah, quit
I have
playing.
lights.
Wow.
And a siren.
That's
And a
somewhere I
siren.
want to go. Just roll through real quick.
Oh my God.
So let me ask you a question. Are you a cigar smoker?
I am not. I have virgin lungs, and I don't want y'all to see the next sheriff choke, so I'm not going to smoke one today.
Right. We don't have a doctor
Be too
here.
embarrassing for me.
No, we good.
So we had
We
a
don't
lady,
even have anybody that played one on TV.
we had a lady on the show last week, and she
She broke it down.
She broke it down. It was a beginner's. She showed you how to light the cigar, how to how to not burn it, and so on. And she talked. See, mine is burning fairly evenly all the way through. But she talked about this procedure called retrohaling, where you essentially swallow the smoke,
But you don't blow it out your nose.
And blow it out your nose. So you got to kind of like go from here, there, and blow it straight back out, not inhale into your lungs. That
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, you almost, Fabian almost died.
But here's the thing:
this
it's
is
not
why
the first time that they've tried retrohaling. That's the sad part. Like this
Yeah, we
was the
keep trying
second.
that
They
shit,
keep
man. We
trying,
keep trying.
and I keep telling them, ain't nobody got time to go call 911.
Because what happened? They get right here and it burns.
Yeah,
I mean, it
and
burns.
they about to
I'm like,
die on camera.
I'm like, see, that's why you would never hear about me. Oh man, he turned into a cokehead. No,
Right,
you would
right.
never hear that about
No.
me.
Yeah.
Because I always have sinus problems. I'm
Right.
like, and I tried that. and
Twice.
I'm like, man,
Twice. He's tried it
Y'all
multiple
can have
times.
I want to go viral, but not that way.
Not that
No.
way. Not
Yeah,
that way.
Be like, oh, the Smoke Podcast. What happened? Like,
He was on air.
you know they love to say you was on air.
Yeah, he was on air. Yeah, he wasn't live on it.
Well, I'm gonna say this: when you finally decide to try it, don't smoke a sweet cigar.
No.
Just tell whoever, if you go into a humidor, just say, I just want a good beginner stick.
Okay.
I don't think he said you think you're gonna not smoke cigars or
I don't know.
Oh, he
Let
gonna
me
have
get through
to.
this sheriff race first.
He get through the sheriff race. He gonna be
I need two after the sheriff
you
race.
gotta celebrate. You gotta celebrate.
a celebration.
I might need two of them.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
you
we
stressed
gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about this Cohiba that we're smoking and get more about
Get your
what-
socials.
Yeah. Let you tell the people why they should vote for you.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So Smoke Fam, Stick with us. We'll be right back. My voice went out a little bit.
He over there trying to retro hell, y'all. He about to die.
It went out a little bit. It got stuck right there. Smoke Fam, we'll be right back.
Go back to the Smoke Podcast.
Yes.
So Kimberly, one of the sheriff's guys is taking some pictures. He showed Kimberly a picture. She's like, "Woo, I like that."
My favorite
You're
person.
my favorite person. Boy, I
me that
tell you
quick.
what, but just like that.
You're
So,
still my favorite person.
so what can we expect in your new regime? Your administration
Once elected.
Yeah, so in my 23-year career, I have always been the kind of person that colored outside the lines.
Right.
I'm a very nimble leader. In fact,
What does that mean?
that means when things are happening, I don't have to go spend 2, 3, 4, 5 months trying to figure out, can we do it? How long is it going to take? No, let's do it.
If it works, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
And so a prime example of this in 2023, when I became the chief deputy, at that time throughout Memphis and Shelby County, auto crimes were leading our crime stats.
Right.
Auto thefts, auto burglaries, that it was driving our crime numbers out the roof.
Right.
And so, I came up with this idea while driving into work. I said, hey, let me get a group of detectives together, call them brats, and let them focus solely on this type of crime. And so, literally within a week or so, we stood that unit up. And I can say last year we saw a 12% reduction in crime in unincorporated Shelby County. But, I've seen in my 23-year career, I've seen those types of decisions take months and, all this deliberation and, no. We see that this issue is impacting our community. Let's do something about it today.
Instead of meeting and calling a vote and doing
getting a
all this other
survey
stuff.
and
Yes.
Doing
And so I'm going to borrow a slogan, Next is Now.
Next is
and-
now.
and
I
so-
like that.
That's
and
your
so-
slogan?
That's not my slogan. I've heard it.
What's your
but
slogan?
I'm just-
What's your slogan?
Our county, our city, our county, our sheriff. Believe in Buckner. And so
Not believe in Buck.
believe in Buckner.
The B&B of
Yes,
it all.
yes.
Don't try to steal that. Give me my copyright.
Y'all heard it, Smoke Fam. Kimberly came up with that.
So I appreciate the question because that speaks to what my administration will look like. And so I know right now that a large portion of crimes in the city of Memphis and Shelby County is gang related. Whether you look at it through the lens of homicides or robberies, it's going to be gang related type of activity. Well, I used to be an undercover gang detective.
Oh, wow.
And so I studied gangs in and out for a couple of years, and I also was a uniform detective. And so I know we need a gang unit tomorrow. Actually, we needed one yesterday. And so as the new sheriff, I promise you that I'm going to have a gang unit, within the first, couple of weeks or a month. We're going to have a gang unit led by the sheriff throughout the city and county.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was part of the very first Blue Crush that the city of Memphis ever had. The very first. And when I say Blue Crush, people start smiling. Well, we're going to bring a version of Blue Crush back. I think that name is.
What
know,
I mean,
So
what
what do you
have to
think
come
is
up
gonna
with
be
was
different?
the reason? What was the reason Blue Crush went away?
I can't really speak for, particularly for the Memphis Police Department as to why. I think that was a program that was
was under
introduced by,
Harrington,
Larry Godwin as the police chief.
Okay.
And I think it would have been Mayor Harrington administration. And so, of course, new chiefs come in, they have new initiatives.
New things that they want to focus
theories,
on.
new priorities and things like that. So, one of the things that I saw was, the response from communities when you have citizens calling in complaining that they can't do things like check the mailbox without feeling like they're going to be robbed or even sit on their porch. And so I think a lot of our citizens, just like, we love community police, I think there was a place for crime abatement saturations.
Right.
That's what Blue Crush really is, a crime abatement saturation. So the sheriff's office, I think, can, if we have the appropriate staffing, we can bring those type of initiatives.
Y'all
further
heard
into the
that.
city of
He
Memphis.
didn't say he could just do it automatically. He said with the appropriate staffing. So
Yes.
that means he
That's
going.
what
it boils down to.
It boils down to. It's
Yeah.
always boiled down to
And
that.
so, one of the things that I'll look at is see where we can, make some adjustments, shift some people around, and see, even this week, we're going to start bring back community policing for the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Again, talking to my staff, I don't need 2-3 months to come up with a plan. No. let's do it.
I'll be honest with you. You've been on the force 23 years.
Yes.
You should already know what the community needs.
Oh, absolutely.
You should already know. You should already know.
But what's important for any leader is to not be rigid. So what the community needs today, it may not be that tomorrow. And so in my 23 years, I've seen all kind of crimes come and go. So young in my career, the big crime back in the day was selling bootleg CDs and bootleg purses and bootleg DVDs
and all that.
And so, we had to have a unit to just target that type of crime, right? And then those
is that really a crime or a hustle?
Well, it was both. Yeah. So I mean, you just have to be nimble as a law enforcement leader, any kind of leader, but certainly in law enforcement. And so, again, I've always colored outside the lines, and as I'm watching trends shift, we got to be ahead of that.
I remember as a kid I went to Magnolia Elementary over in South Memphis, and one of the things that I never will forget is Officer Friendly coming.
Yes.
Talking to the kids. I mean, he made you feel comfortable. So when you saw him, and hey, Officer Friendly, even though that wasn't his name.
I was getting ready to ask what his real name.
No, it wasn't his real name. But yeah, it's just that again, he comes, he talks to the kids,
make them not
plays
afraid.
basketball, make them not afraid. That's the whole deal.
So I have a quick story that's not so quick.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
So I used to be a school officer at Southwind High School, the very first year it ever opened. And I'll never forget this one student who transferred to Southwind. She was actually new to the area from Chicago, and she just kind of walked through the halls at Southwind with this Chicago swag. Just kind of I'm edgy. I got a chip on my shoulder.
I'm gonna beat you. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Well,
I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah. And so I tried to mentor this young lady, and I feel like I was successful in that. But I'll never forget this one particular morning. She came to school and she said, Officer Buckner, I thought about committing suicide last night, and the only reason I didn't is because I thought you'd be mad.
Oh, wow.
And so, even to this day, that sticks with me because I'm like, out of all of the awards and promotion I received, that's been the one that's been the most impactful for me. But it speaks to the relationship not only that I had with this particular student, but all students at Southwind High School. I knew all 1,000 of their faces. I may not have known all their names, but I knew just walking through the halls who belonged there and who did not belong there.
That make a difference.
And those kids, it was so great on the days that the report cards were issued because those kids would race up to me in the hallway and wanted to show me their A's and B's. And for some students, they wanted to race up to me and show me their C's and D's. But I celebrated with the A student just like I celebrated with the C and D student. And so you talk about Officer Friendly and those relationships, that's important to me because I know the power of that. I received so many tips from those young people and I tell you this, out of 100,
they trusted you.
Yes, out of 180 days of that school year, we only had 3 fights in the entire school year of 180 days.
Good.
Over 1,000 kids.
And then you left.
I did. Yeah, I got promoted to sergeant. I was out.
But I will say this.
I stayed I stayed right there I stayed right near Southwind High School.
You sound a little upset when you said and you left.
Because it went downhill. Like you could not drive through there. As a homeowner, I owned a home. I didn't want the apartments. Right. I didn't want the school because I knew what was going to come with it. And first few years it was fine, but them last 2 years before I finally moved out of Southwind, it was like you didn't want to even be over there between 3 and 4. Like when the kids got out of school, it was just like Wild West. Well, because they, to your point, they had nobody to look up to, nobody to there was nobody to hold them accountable, and they weren't afraid of anything. Right. They would just do whatever, whenever, with no regards to, I remember going to a few games because I had a daughter that was a cheerleader for Germantown, and we would go to Southwind to play. You just you didn't want to go. You went still to support the kids, but man, you was like had your head on the swivel because I mean, it's just.
Well, I mean, one thing my daughter's in a band, and we went over there, and it was good. It was a nice time. I think the school systems are getting better. I think we just got to have a little more faith in our kids, and those kids got to have a little more faith in the police officers. So
right, one thing that I did learn from those kids is they really wanted to engage with an adult, and I think as us adults, I think we do need to take time out to just stop and talk to some of these young people.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times we take the perspective that it's not our business. No, I don't want to say anything because I don't want problems. They may have a gun, all those kind of things, and I get it. I truly understand that. But I promise you, just me watching these kids for 180 days, most of these kids, and one story is coming to my mind immediately. I remember this one young man that would always sag his pants, always. And every day I'm telling this kid, pull his pants up. And this one particular day I said, you know what, I'm tired of telling this kid to pull his pants up in the hallway. So it was a dress code violation. And so I said, I'm not going to say anything to this kid. And he walks past me, and I act like I didn't see him. And he walks past me again.
He wanted you to say something.
He walked past me 4 times.
He needed the attention.
He wanted, even negative attention was attention. But when I understood his story, it went a little deeper. His dad was a truck driver. He had a nanny that was, I guess, standing in as a parent. So he didn't have a relationship with his parent or really any adult. And so even though he would run the risk of getting suspended just so he can have some type of interaction with an adult who cared.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. And so that's
deep.
That's one kid, but it's many kids that share that same narrative. And so I think us, as adults, and certainly as men, let's reach out to these young people, and try to encourage them and put them on the right track. We keep complaining about the problem, but the question becomes to us, what are we doing about the problem?
What are you doing to fix it?
What are you doing to fix it?
Right.
And I think that's big, and that's big for somebody like you that's running for the top guy,
right?
Because these are things that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Because community and community action is a big part of what you do, and a lot of people are not so. A lot of police officers we know,
and to me, I remember Blue Crush. Blue Crush had to me, they had a pulse on the communities.
Right.
They knew who.
They knew everything.
Right.
They knew who. They knew the stuff. Right. And when Blue Crush showed up in your neighborhood, everybody knew, and people were cheering because they were like,
Absolutely.
"Good, finally,
Somebody's
somebody
here.
doing something." So,
and the biggest thing I think you said earlier is we got to let these kids know and adults know it's nothing wrong with snitching.
Oh no, it's not.
It really is nothing. There's nothing wrong with snitching, because this is a lot of this crime is getting out of hand, and we have to,
in order
as a
to protect your
community,
neighborhood,
we got to take it. We got to really do something about this.
yeah, but if you're trying to protect your neighborhood, is it really snitching?
No,
it's not.
No.
There you go.
We got to use another word then. It shouldn't be snitching.
Informed law enforcement official.
He said that in his very white voice.
We got a title for you.
Right. But I'll say this: for people to feel comfortable to share information, they got to know and trust you.
Yeah,
that's just
the biggest thing.
The big thing. They got to know and trust you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And when that happens, then I always think about, So that's why I'm a big proponent of community policing, because when you know that officer by his first name, just like all those kids at Southwind knew me as Officer Buckner, even today, 20 years later, maybe they still call me Officer Buckner. I'm the Chief Deputy, but I'm always going to be Officer Buckner to them. So,
and when they see you, they feel like they got an automatic connect. Wait a minute, y'all move out the way. I know him, man.
Right.
He know me.
Right.
You remember me 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You just say yes and keep going.
Right.
So let's talk about this cigar. Whew.
This is the Smoke Podcast.
We are smoking a Cohiba, Connecticut Robusto. It's a great stick. So I'm gonna read Google's.
I did good.
You did good.
Aw, look at Fabian.
This guy says, "I'll come right out and say this at the
Did you
start."
just give yourself a hand
He
clap?
did. He did. He says, "I feel like the non-Cuban Cohiba cigar is a cigar that shouldn't be. To be sure, you'll find plenty of the American distributed versions of the old frame Cuban brands that exist, but nearly all of these brands are generally given a pass in the minds of cigar. But this is a good stick.
It's a good stick.
It burned evenly, which
even.
meant that it was rolled quite
Pretty
well.
good.
And listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, when you go over to the Dominican Republic and you sitting on the beach and some guy walks up and tries to sell
Would
you
you like
some
a
damn
Cohiba?
cigars, they're not real Cohibas. I'm just gonna tell you, they're real cigars. They're not real Cuban cigars, and if
But they still a decent smoke.
Sometimes.
and me and Fabian, we've experienced it. We've had guys bring us some cigars back from the DR, and I look at them, I'm like, okay,
Man,
well, thank you.
missing a word.
They
a couple of letters.
misspelled Cohiba, or the logo doesn't line up. But I'm gonna give her a shout out. Big Sue
Big Sue always brings.
Big Sue, she brought the OG. She sent some cigars. She brought some cigars for us, and they were real Cohibas. You looked at it and you was like, "Oh damn, I don't want to smoke this. I want to save it." So so this is a good stick.
It's meant to be smoked.
And Rick
did his thing.
You did your damn thing with this right here.
Come on, Rick.
I'm gonna have to sit, Rick. I'm gonna be sitting over here for about 30 minutes to let because I don't drink and drive, Sheriff. I don't do that.
Don't none of us drink and drive.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you leave first.
Sit here. We're gonna sit here for a minute.
That's the trick.
We're gonna let you out the door first.
That's the trick. Wow.
Everybody call their Uber.
So man, I think all of us know, and the Smoke fam know, running an election is expensive. So how do people that they feel
they
support? They want to support you. How do they support you?
Yeah, so please go to Buckner for
Sheriff.
You gotta spell it.
Buckner.
I done spelled your name a bunch of times and I still get it wrong.
I know people call me Butler, but Buckner for Sheriff.com.
Yeah.
So it's Buckner for Sheriff.
Yes.
FOR Sheriff.
Hey, Kenneth, can you bring us this flyer right here?
Yeah.
Just hand it. Go get your. You gonna come around.
Come around this way, man.
Come on, man. Come on.
Go get it.
Man, you rolling with the sheriff.
Making his debut.
Not his day. He's like, y'all get me off this camera.
Tom Cruise.
Hey, support I got, man. I tell you what, you already got my vote, man. I'm telling you what, you've been my guy for a while, though. So I will say that.
I didn't know nobody else was running.
You don't need to.
You don't need to.
There you go.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant
Because I typically vote early, and I walk in with a list of names I'm gonna vote for. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's always like
y'all know where I met him at, though, right?
What do you mean about?
The Easy. Come on,
yes.
Fat Charlie.
Oh, okay.
With our friends.
So I'm just curious. I know you have did stuff probably with Pastor Ricky Floyd. So and we, regardless of the circumstances or whatever. This was a good dude. He was a good guy.
Ricky
he was fighting for the city. He was trying to help men. I remember the last time I saw him, I was shooting at his church. He came over and spoke. He said, "Man, you still looking good," because both me and him had weight loss surgery kind of at the same time. And he said, "Man, you still holding on?" And I said, "Well, you still holding too." So I mean, he was a good guy. I mean, he just period. He was just a good human. And we need more people that care about. He didn't just care about people. He cared about a whole this whole city. He wanted this whole city. He wanted to see us get to the next level. So
I think we deserve to get to the next level.
Absolutely.
Though. I think we've been held into this toxic stuff too long in Memphis.
So one thing I would do want to say about Pastor Ricky Floyd. He said something one day that resonated in me. We opened the doors of the Sheriff's Office Training Academy for the nonprofit community and the faith community, and he took to the mic and he asked particularly the pastors in attendance. He said, "If your church closed tomorrow, how long would it take before your community even knows?" And I just, that was like a gut punch. He said, because if I close my church within 30 minutes, the people around my church would know that I closed the doors.
Right.
And so,
that's the impact.
Yes, whenever I'm in the faith community, I ask pastors that, how much work are you doing inside of your community, and would your community know if
would they even care?
If you padlock the doors, would they even know?
That's deep right there.
It's real deep.
And see, that was a call to action.
Yeah.
For the faith community, and it's going to take all of us to change this community in the direction in which we want it to go in. Which I think we're on the right path, but to stay on that path, it's going to take all of us linking arms to do what we can. I tell this this story often is, sometimes when I'm in community groups, a lot of people ask me, they say, well, I don't know where to start. I don't know. I want to do something, but I don't know where to start. And one of the things that I share with them is, hey, listen, I am a horrible dancer. So please don't DM me, because I can't dance to save my life.
What they got to do with them DMing you?
Here I go. I'm going to tell you. So as a noob, you would expect me to be able to dance and all that, right?
I never knew that.
I did not.
Yes.
You didn't come in with nothing red on or nothing.
You ain't ran it and do no
You standing behind.
Do no secret.
You standing behind the super noob right there.
Not the super noob. He got on red socks right now.
But here's what I've learned about dancing with these two left feet that I have is, when I dance my dance, I look pretty good. I can fool you. I can cut a rug.
I think you really believe that,
right?
though.
I can cut a rug. But what I've noticed that if I take my eyes off my dance and I look at somebody else dance, then I'm all messed up, right? I get off beat, I step on your toes, I'm just all messed up. And so here's the thing, what mentorship looks like for me, it looks differently for you. You have to figure out what makes you comfortable. And so for you, it may be, working with a youth group through your church, or maybe even starting a mentorship in your own family. But do something, that's the call that I give to all of us. And so for me right now today, my something is running for sheriff, so I can make this community just a little bit better. And so 3 things that I ask for those who are looking to support me. The first thing I ask for anybody to do is pray for me. Running for a campaign or for any office is taxing. It's very, very challenging. So the first thing I ask is to pray. But then campaigns are expensive. So as I said earlier, please go to bucknerforsheriff.com and, give something, $5, $10, $20, or even $3,600. I promise you I won't turn it down.
Not the number.
Yes. And if you say, listen, I don't have money or I don't have money like that, that's fine. I understand that. Volunteer. Please, knock on the door, wave on the corner. I promise you, there's a job for you. And one thing I can tell you about volunteering on a campaign, lifelong friendships have been made on campaigns. So, come out, look us up, join the team. Believe in Buckner.
That's what's up right there.
But
now, if I give y'all some money one time, y'all not gonna call me 100 more times asking for more money, right?
Yes, they are.
I can promise you, if you give me $3,600, the conversation is over with.
He was like, hello.
The conversation is over with.
Hey, I ain't gonna say who it was, but I gave some money.
I gave some money too.
And I got a
get
call
a text
from him
every day, like, hey, we're trying to reach our goal. And I'm like, I supported you once.
I got another wave. I got another wave, man, coming through, man. So I need you to double what you gave me last time.
So I'm gonna only call that one time, but here's the caveat. I may call you back and say, have your wife given $3,600?
Checking for the whole household.
And the answer is yes.
Okay. What about your adult children?
Not the kids. We collectively have already given.
So when does the early election start and when is the actual election?
Yeah, so the actual election, so for a county, well, first of all, let me say this. No matter where you live in Shelby County, Memphis, Germantown, Bartlett, Collierville, it doesn't matter where you are in Shelby County, you can vote in county elections for all races. Can you hit that clap thing one more time? There? All right, there we go.
Not him being production.
Hollywood, you can go to the car now. but so anywhere in Shelby County you can vote. And so the elections, there's 2 with the county. There's a primary in May of next year, and then there's a general election next year. And
May of 2026?
May of 2026.
Okay.
And then the general election is August of 2026. And so
just because hold on, Smoke Fam, just because it's a year away, he still need money now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He got to get himself out there on that trail.
Yeah. Yes. And
he
I
gonna
know
need a snack. Don't be bringing him no sandwiches though, y'all.
No snacks.
No, you don't want no snacks.
Yeah. No sandwiches. I need a full meal. I'm a grown man. I need you to stir something in a pot.
He needs to let some shit marinate.
Yeah. If you can cook it in 15 minutes, I don't want it. And if you order it, you can keep it.
That is terrible.
So Andy, I don't know if you know, these are the 2 bougiest cooks in Memphis right here. She over here got caviar. I'm like, damn, why? I text Fabian. I said, man, when I get some damn caviar?
Did you order some?
I did order me some.
Okay.
They over there eating caviar and drinking champagne and holding their. I'm like, I
don't know who he talking about.
How can I be down? How can I be down?
Idea.
She know.
I have no idea. Do you know what he's talking about, baby?
I do know what he's
I'm
talking about.
from the hood. I don't know what he's talking about.
Caviar from the hood.
Yeah.
Listen.
Hey, caviar is cheaper than eggs. I mean,
right about now, you can have a very rich experience.
Wow.
Fish eggs are cheaper than chicken eggs right now.
So we're at the point of the show where we typically give somebody the smoke. And we're not letting up today.
We're not letting up.
So we give the smoke to somebody who we feel like broke foul to us or to the people in general, and we give them the smoke.
Oh, we just don't like
the last 3 weeks we've given it to Trump and his cronies, and I think they deserve it again.
That Pete guy.
You know, here's the deal. When you mess up, if it had been a Democrat that had messed up, we'd have been calling for impeachments right now. We've been having a damn. Let's gather the Congress and let's get him out.
Let's figure out how to get him out of here.
Special meeting or
special session, whatever y'all want to call it. So it's like we're not even really hearing from anybody saying that this is illegal. Like, this should not be happening. This guy should lose his job.
Chuck Schumer has disappointed us. You know, he has not fought back. He's not pushed back. And again,
that's gonna be the Democrat fault.
I'm 100% okay with. Let's treat everybody the same. That's the whole deal. Okay, so when we get elected next term, which we will, and we start doing the same kind of shit that Trump's
delusional.
doing, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear a word. I know that's
delusional. That's the part that's the problem, because it's not going to be the same. The Republicans already know how to play it. The Democrats have never caught up. Sorry, not sorry.
You know, that's why we can't run.
Oh, you don't think I should run for office?
Me neither. Because I don't have couth.
Oh,
see, Anthony, you got to kiss the ugly babies and the pretty ones.
All babies are beautiful.
So you trying to say I think we would do good in office.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, we would.
Hey.
I'll take over.
They'd be like, Kimberly, this post you did 2 years ago.
You was like, so?
With a whole bunch of O's after it.
I will ask you this.
Yeah.
Because you're a public figure. I mean, you're basically a politician now. I mean,
I don't know if he believes in that.
No, when you run for stuff, when you're appointed,
right,
you're a politician.
And the reason you can navigate the system like you have is because you've been watching. Listen, I get it, because that would be the same way. I would just sit back and just watch the stuff unfold and see how it unfolds and see, okay, he did this and this happened.
Right.
And he did that and that happened for him. I mean, you've got to be strategically watching.
Right.
Just kind of laying it out.
I don't have to touch the stove. I promise you.
But you do now.
You was like, I've seen it.
I've seen it.
He don't have to necessarily. I agree with him though. He doesn't have to touch the stove.
But here's the thing. You know, to be a politician, you got to roll a lot of different ways. You got to. I mean, your moves are all different now,
right?
Because you have. I mean, a microscope is always on you. As a politician.
And you ready for that?
And that's why I couldn't do it.
Ready.
Oh. Yeah, he ready.
So, you know,
he been groomed. He been groomed.
What you trying to say? We couldn't be okay.
No,
just
we
say
couldn't
less.
do it. We couldn't do it. One thing, we business owners.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so our mindset is totally different.
True.
I mean,
we're trying to get that money.
I mean, because everything I can't help future Sheriff Buckner if I'm not in business. I can't help him.
And successful.
You know, it's just the way it is. You can't help kids. You can't do all this. You can't do the things that you want until you get elected.
Right.
I mean, it's just.
And then it's your platform, your priorities.
So you are right. I have been watching the political landscape from the national level, state level, and even local level. And one thing that I've seen that's been pretty consistent across Democrats and Republicans, people just want the truth now. You know, give it to me. Don't give me any salt around the rim. No chase.
But is that true? Because
I think so.
Because the way I've been looking at it, because I have friends on both sides, but the people that I know that's just far right, they don't read.
Right.
They don't. I mean, I was talking to a guy the other day. He trying to tell me what tariffs are, and he's totally wrong.
Sure.
Right.
And I'm like, did you read?
No.
Or did you just take it at face value?
On Fox News, they told him what tariffs were. Yeah.
I mean, and that's how.
You know, but here's the deal: you can't watch just MSNBC.
You gotta watch all of it.
Right.
Because if you just watch MSNBC, you would think that the Republicans are the worst people in the world, and they're not.
And they're not.
No.
They're not.
No.
And if you watch just Fox, you'll think that the Democrats are the worst people in the world.
And they're not.
You kind of have to do a balance. You have to do
Well,
a
where
balance
is the balance?
yourself.
I think people are asking, where is the balance?
I think the balance is that people that you can immediately relate to. Like I can immediately relate to everything that Anthony has said because I grew up in that. I'm 60 years old almost.
Are you?
So
Let me give you your flowers right now.
Boy, y'all. See, that's why I don't like.
That's why I don't talk. That's why I don't say nothing. Come on.
But seriously, but again, I've lived in Memphis my entire life, and I've seen stuff. I've seen stuff that worked. I remember Blue Crush. I had a friend that worked at the television station that got caught up in Blue Crush. Remember that phase?
Yep.
I completely get it. And do I have a problem with it? Absolutely not. I do not. I think that if you can be empowered more,
whatever you can do that's going to help the community,
right.
and not hurt the community, not damage the community, because we got to admit some of the things that MPD, Sheriff Department don't work.
And that's fine.
Some of it don't work.
That's why we're going to get Sheriff Buckner in there.
But you have to try it.
Yeah, you have to try and you have to be nimble.
And just like there are more great police than there are bad police.
Oh, absolutely.
But bad police make everybody, it's just like a bag of apples. You get one bad apple, you throw the whole thing away.
Right.
But there's more good police than there are bad police. And I've always said, and I might be wrong for this, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
All right.
He gonna tell you.
I'm
gonna tell you the truth.
Until police stop covering for bad police, it's gonna be
bad politicians start standing up for bad politicians.
Because you have to police your own.
Yeah, so I can say this, and I've worked in internal affairs, and I know a lot of people over at Memphis Police and Highway Patrol and all these agencies around here, and I don't think that there is a single leader that I've been in around that would cover up for a law enforcement officer that's doing wrong. I think we all, as leaders, want them out.
I 100% agree with you.
But I do think sometimes it's a challenge if we are not able to recruit the best talent out there.
That's true.
And so the police officers are coming from our community, right? And so even with, we do our due diligence to try to, investigate these individuals' background before they even come through the door. But, people can slip through the cracks.
Right.
But I do believe if we pay police officers a higher wage than what they're making now, you now get a chance to start picking higher talent or higher quality.
I agree with that.
Y'all do a national recruit too?
Yeah, they do.
We do a national recruit. But here's the challenge, though. If you're asking somebody to move from Denver, Colorado, to Memphis, Tennessee, and you're going to pay them $70,000, that's just not worth it.
That's
but here's
feasible.
what I can tell you. THP, they're now paying nearly $100,000 for troopers.
Wow.
The who? The what now?
And they have very few openings.
I bet.
The who of the what? So I'm changing careers.
So real quick, I just want to I want to see if I still remember the pecking order. So you guys cannot, or can you arrest like a Memphis police officer?
Oh,
you guys
absolutely.
can't. You can.
We can.
The county can do.
But then the Highway Patrol has to investigate you guys.
No,
like the Memphis Police don't. The Memphis Police couldn't arrest a sheriff's deputy, right?
No, so any officer in the state, any officer within their jurisdiction can arrest any person.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, when you get into officer-involved shootings, then typically we would call in the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to take the lead on that investigation. But yes,
y'all notice his voice got deep. It's got real deep.
I'm loving his mic.
He gonna be
I don't even know who I am anymore.
Fabian, get ready to sell him a microphone.
I'm telling you,
we need some new equipment.
Sweat Hotel gonna have some problems because I'm going for that #1 spot.
Not the new career at night.
Hey, if this shit don't work out,
you know what?
I'm feeling like Shaft over here.
You ain't even got to show no face. You ain't got to show no face. You can just put a picture up there and just your voice.
This is straight terrible. I tell you,
look who showed up. We got OG.
OG
I tell you what, what's going on, Will?
Come on, have a seat, Mr. Richardson.
Look at that, man. Hey, why you look like you going to the club?
This is one big club, man.
He came in with his blue blockers on.
Y'all walk in like somebody owed him money.
Man. I was like, damn, is the mob coming in?
I said, pay his bills.
Hey, man. pay that kickback.
So y'all don't see him, but Will Richardson of Fat Charlie, he just showed up. He just showed up.
One of our biggest supporters.
Look at him, boy. That's it right there.
Hey, now I'm trying to act like he like us. That is so terrible.
Boy, I tell you what. Hey, you never know who's gonna come in and smoke podcast. That's just
Never.
You know what I just noticed though?
So dumb.
He came in empty-handed.
You didn't bring no shit with you?
Now I'm going to our private stash.
He's going over there grabbing. Hey, that's that Uncle Nears that almost killed Randy. So put that up, man. Put that up. Put
Randy
that
almost died.
That's 100. That's 123 proof.
You want some now?
No.
No, I'm talking to Randy. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? Sheriff, I'm gonna go ahead and call you Sheriff. I mean, we really appreciate you hanging out with us, and I hope you had a great time, man. And give everybody your information again. So
your socials,
so that people
can DM you. You gonna start your radio broadcast career from the Smoke Podcast.
Yeah. So once again, www.bucknerforsheriff.com, www.bucknerforsheriff.com. You can find me on social media and Instagram, Anthony Buckner for Sheriff.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I thank you for coming and showing love to the Smoke Podcast, man. We really appreciate it, and we are definitely on your side, man. So whatever
we want you to succeed,
whatever you need, man. Because like I said, I've known you for a long time in Smoke Fam. Great brother right here. He's going to be a great leader, and I truly believe that. And honestly, you learn from one of the top guys, man. Because I'm a big Bonner fan.
When I see him, Sheriff over there, like he giving them direction. Like, okay, so them people there is people you need to know.
Yeah. He's like, I'm telling you now. I know I've been doing this a long time.
That right there, you can trust him. He good, but that one right there, don't trust him as far as you can see him.
Don't take a check from him.
Not a check. We're gonna put this on our stories.
Yes, and y'all be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Instagram as the Smoke Podcast, TikTok as the Smoke Podcast, Facebook the Smoke Podcast, and finally on our YouTube channel, the Smoke Podcast. If you Googling us, Google the Smoke Podcast Memphis. Bam.
Yes. All right,
you get it.
All right, Smoke Fam. Until we smoke again, we will holla.
Holla, y'all. This is the Spotlight Podcast.